Hey guys, my name is Melissa Lawson, and this is just kind of an intro video before you get into my tour videos. The building I took a tour of was the Westside Community Center, and this houses the Westside High School West Campus, which is an alternative campus for students. And then it also serves as a place for community events to be held, and also as a satellite space for schools, specifically elementary schools, to utilize while their buildings are being renovated. Just a little bit of background information. This building was opened in 1964. It was actually a middle school when it first started, and then in 1987, it was consolidated into Westside Community Schools, and it's been used for a variety of purposes. The lower level of the school is used for West Campus, which is a more structured environment for students who need a more like set in schedule compared to a main campus. And then the upper level serves as a satellite place for elementary schools to be able to move into while their buildings are being renovated and they can't occupy their original buildings. They can come to this building and utilize it while those changes are being made. And so Westside uses it a lot for their elementary schools, and then they also rent it out to other districts who may need to utilize it for when they renovate their buildings. I know 2 years ago we had a school from Ralston up there, and then upcoming this fall, starting this fall, Loveland will be occupying the upper floor for their school while their building is under construction. So the person I took a tour with, his name was Andrew Wayne, and he is the district's director of facilities. So he's in charge of making sure that the buildings are running and that maintenance is able to complete all the tasks, troubleshooting if need be, the hiring process. He is in charge of all of that. So he heard that I was looking for more information about this, and he thought it would be a great opportunity for him to stop by the building and take a look at it as it was getting through all the different processes of moving Loveland over, but also doing some updated maintenance before the school year started.
Ooh. So there, just to kind of, that's all the way up until 2023.
Okay.
I was in and out of these places. I'd seen them before, but very infrequently. And you kind of see it at this point too. They're doing some work down here.
Mm-hmm.
May not venture as much down into the spaces as they would.
Got it.
I see this, like I said, a lot like educators see it. That's my background. So what I'll do is for Fluid Mechanical is a group that's doing the work. I'm going to pass along to them troubleshooting items. Too hot here, too humid here.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to make this modification through our controls here. It's not working, and then they work through it. And honestly, where I've kind of learned anything that I do know, which I don't know at all, and I realize more and more every day how much there is to know. It's just kind of through those troubleshooting situations. Really, we have all of this to kind of set up, but there's a lot of real fundamental structural things we have with this building's older windows,
Mm-hmm.
older doors that we are trying to get all of the right, door sweeps and mechanisms on the door so we're airtight there. But all of those things influence how well all of our heating and air works. So, better windows, you get better efficiencies, lesser
Small
windows.
things make big difference.
And you know what? You only got a budget to fix so much so fast. So
Mm-hmm. Big tank here.
we even got a chiller down here too.
Oh, okay. Boiler, chiller. Okay.
I think so. Yeah. And I think too. I'm just looking honestly. A lot of the red knobs, the blue. I do believe that's correct.
Okay.
Boiler. Just been getting Loveland ready to move in. and we'll run a lot of events up here. So, be a few things. And I think too, obviously they'll use this kitchen, so a lot of that in right now.
Oh yeah.
So, one big thing I've learned too with the kitchens is the maintenance of the hoods. And that's a special kind of inspection fire. There's fire considerations there that are unique to any place in the building. So, this, depending on the size of the kitchen and what you've got overall setup wise, a lot of different fire inspection, fire prevention tools there that are legally required, to make sure that the kitchen's running. Got some storage areas in here for all market storage, dry storage, whatever it might be. But got quite a few of those. This is a kitchen too that'll get used this year, and when the schools are occupied but not getting used all the time. It wasn't used much for several years. So.
Yep, they're starting to get all cool.
In the kitchen. And, so as far as who can access it, when, what they can do, you're always going to get 100 different requests of, hey, we're doing a team meal for the football team or whatever team or group it might be in a school. Can we use the kitchen? The standard answer is no, just because there's obviously health code.
Yeah.
Rules and laws that apply that you just can't let folks that aren't in the kitchen every day come utilize the kitchen. The kitchen manager, when the kitchen manager may come off as a little bit tough, a little bit, maybe even at times, why is that person in such a bad mood every day? They're really trying to protect what that space is and make sure everybody's abiding by the laws. Because there probably, I couldn't recite to you exactly what those laws are. I think Aaron, who's our director of nutrition at the district level, and then all of his kitchen managers very much could more so. But I did, in working long enough as a school administrator, I do know that those were very particular and for the reason of keeping everybody safe, healthy, and all things it needs to be. And, where you and you can see what some of those items are there too.
Yeah.
You got some
Pretty familiar
different
stuff.
chemicals in there, which really dictates what you should and shouldn't do inside each room. So, and one big thing is this is designated as a custodial closet. You're not, and you'll see this time to time because you're never going to have more storage than what you need in any school I've ever been. So, if you see something that is an electrical room or a mechanical room, then you shouldn't see this. And that's a age-long, hey, this doesn't go there battle. I think every school has got to kind of work it to the best that they can. But this is a true custodial closet here. Kind of head back downstairs. A lot of what you see right now, this is the school that's in the process of moving in, and we're not in the middle of the school year. So we'll say this as we're kind of, presumably somebody kind of seeing the video that we've done. This is not the way this will look in September.
Oh, no.
It's just because there's some things I know too in the place we were just at where we want to get it into school mode. So now, obviously this is what you guys used to eat lunch at. And see how, and what necessitates obviously bringing stuff in. You do not have a full kitchen setup. There's really no limited ability to, there's no oven use or things like that. So, requires things to be brought in. So,
Cool.